Yeah, let's go. Shout out Ice Spice for sure. Okay. Um, anyways, off topic. Listen,
Oh,
guys.
man.
Listen. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here on Locked Door MMA. We're your hosts. I'm Brevin. This is my good buddy JP. And in today's episode, we will be bringing you every single breakdown and prediction for UFC 326 Holloway versus Oliveira 2 in Las Vegas, Nevada, back at the T-Mobile Arena. But before we dive into those predictions in today's episode, we just want to take a moment to say if you're new here, welcome to the Locked Door MMA community. Make sure to hit the subscribe button right now so you guys don't miss out on any of our predictions. We are the best in the world, and we're going to tell you that, guys, that every single week. Make sure that you don't miss out. And if you could also leave a like on the video if you enjoy the content, if you enjoy the UFC, that really helps the boys out with the algorithm. But with that being said, JP, let's talk through some of the events that took place in UFC Mexico City before we dive into this numbered event.
Yeah, dude. I think the biggest point is the elevation. I don't. I mean, looking at it, I don't really remember anybody who like gassed out horribly bad that like sold. The biggest thing to me was Loner Kavanaugh. We said he was going to gas out. He's done it before. Loner looked phenomenal, and I think I heard somebody, I forgot who it was. I heard somebody was touching on the fight. He was beating the shit out of Brandon Moreno's leg. And I think that's probably what helped him not gas out, is Moreno could not stick and move like he's used to doing because that leg was just beat up so bad. But I mean, Loner looked great, and and then everybody, all the memes about losing to Charles Johnson is like the best base for MMA. um,
True.
yeah, maybe it might be. But yeah, dude, he looked great. He looked like a contender, a serious contender. That kid's boxing is sharp. Brandon, he looked okay, but I think that calf kick just really, and we've seen it a couple times before too, is that once people, I mean, you get hit with one that's just perfect right on the button, and it just shuts your leg down for the whole fight. And then afterwards, everybody's like, well, he's doing this also and this and that. I mean, yeah, when you're not getting kicked in it afterwards, it probably feels fine, but yeah, that was a crazy fight. Cheeto Vera, shocker. What do you know, Brevin? Cheeto loses the first two, wins the third, puts his hands up like he won. I mean, that shit's like clockwork. I can't believe that. Do you have any words for the people with the lock?
Well, let's just say this. We've had a rough start to 2026, but we will make sure to bring you guys the best locks moving forward. Listen, last weekend was what it was. Okay. Not a good fight at all. He's just looked so bad. I'm not gonna lie. He has just like fallen off an absolute cliff. Good for Bobby Green though. Gets the job done. It extends his stay in the UFC. I don't even want to talk about it. It was a terrible fight, terrible prediction, terrible lock, all the things. But JP, that's all I'm going to say about that card. It was what it was, man. I'm excited to move on to 326. I really am. But
Hey, 10 and
finish
3.
out what you have to say. Listen, yes, 10 and 3 had a great record overall. So I'm not going to sit here and let the lock bring my mojo down. Okay. It was a good week. And for all those that want to hate in the comments, good for you. You had one moment of success. Watch what we do with this card. Watch what we do this week. That's all I have to say.
um, yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's not much else to it. I mean, the finger wagging from Dion's Raj when he has his bag taken and he's getting punched in the head and he's away. Bro, if you're wasting time and energy to wave your finger, do something. Defend yourself. I don't get it. I just don't get it. But yeah, I don't know. And then Karashketa, I kind of think she got robbed. Great fight. Is what it is. Not that big of a deal. I was more pissed on the fact I was telling you this that it wasn't a split decision. I had money on split decision and I was like, oh, we're freaking home free, dude. and then the unanimous whatever. Imagine being the person who commented sitting on content. I mean, to be that brain dead, that's crazy. To think that why would you have a full time job? I don't know, but yeah, on and upwards to the next card.
Yeah, certainly, which I'm super excited for, and hopefully you guys are too. Let us know in the comments right now who you're most excited to see for UFC 326. We have the BMF belt on the line in the main event, but we also have a banger in the co-main with Caio Borralho and RDR as well. Let us know in the comments right now what you're most excited for. But JP, without further ado, let's dive into UFC 326, starting with two guys in the light heavyweight division, one up and coming and one that maybe on his way out of the organization, if we're being completely honest. We've got Luke Fernandez taking on Rodolfo Bellato.
Hey now, as I was saying, yeah, Rodolfo Bellato. Unfortunately, he did not win best lead male performance. That went to Michael B. Jordan. His acting, he gave it a good shot. You know, some Leonardo DiCaprio esque type acting. We're not going to take him. We're not going to sit here and tell you to take him. We're not going to back him. Nothing. He has no fight IQ. He leaves his chin up in the air. When his striking defense, he just puts his arms up and just kind of goes back. Don't love it. Got his ass beat by Jimmy Crute, and I think that right hand of Fernandez is coming right down the pipe, right over his shoulder, and slumping him. We're not touching Bellato with a 10-foot pole. It's just the fight IQ thing. And it would just, even if he wins, even if he goes out there and looks great and slumps Fernandez or whatever, still not taking him. Give us Luke Fernandez.
Yeah, 1000%. Even though he's a newcomer, we can't trust Bellato. We've seen this guy is either a draw machine or a no contest machine, one or the other, because he's kind of always looking for his way out of the fights. He doesn't seem to be high IQ when he's inside the octagon. He looks okay, like in the early minutes of the first round, but beyond that, I just think the guy looks like he's lost, doesn't really know what he's doing, and doesn't really want to be there. I like Luke Fernandez in this spot. Yes, he is brand new. Yes, he doesn't have a lot of professional fights, but look for him to get the job done here and look good doing it. Give us Luke.
Yeah, and I mean, him being like fresh, I think there's guys who are fresh like that who look much worse. His striking looks pretty good for how fresh he is for a MMA fighter. All right, moving up the card. Gaston, Mr. Beauty and the Beast, Bolanos, taking on Jung Young Lee.
Yeah, Gaston Bolanos. Seems like he's been around quite a while, but really he's kind of fresh in the UFC. Only 4 fights. He's 2-2. He's one of these guys that he'll win one and lose one and win one and lose one. Now, according to that logic, he's due for a win. I just don't think he gets it done fighting Jung Young Lee, who's going to be the bigger guy in this matchup with the longer reach. Fast hands. He is going into this one. Also with the same record, 2-2. 2 wins, 2 losses. Now his is a little bit different. He's on a 2 fight losing streak. However, I think in this one, he's going to be the better fighter. I don't necessarily trust Bolaños so much. Give me Jung Young Lee. He's just going to be able, or he's going to have to be able to move his head, stay out of danger from Bolaños, but give me him to take or get the job done and win this fight.
Yeah, and like his first out of the 2 losses, the Hyder Emil loss, just
No
moronic.
problem.
Yeah, like you're running at the dude, and he clipped him. Yeah, sure, you clipped him, but like let's have some IQ here. Let's have some patience. And then his next one, Daniel Santos, Willie Cat, when he decides to lock in and make weight, is actually a pretty decent fighter. Okay, and Lee was looking pretty good in the first round as well. I think he dropped him in the first round. But Bolanos is one of those guys that has just shown us he has a problem with the ground. If you're going to beat him, it's by choking him out. And then we have not seen anything else after that. He's just a striker. He's a one-trick pony. We've seen it a million times. And on that fact, he's moving up a weight class. So Lee's going to be much bigger. Will that be in his favor? Maybe like the technique of striking if Lee just decides to sit on the feet the whole time. But I think the grappling, I think you're going to feel, because Lee's going to be much bigger, 3 inches bigger with like a 4-inch reach advantage. I feel like he's going to feel the strength difference of these guys at a higher weight class with grappling him. If you had a trouble with it, guys with your same size, yeah, I don't know. He's another guy. if you're picking him dog money, you just got to be a fan because he hasn't shown us anything other than striking.
Nope, not at this point. All right, next fight. Rafael Tobias taking on Dayar Nurgozhay.
This one is a Nurgozhay fight. Yeah, this dude's tick is just crazy. I've never seen anything like it. I know Dustin has his pull up his shorts and then touch his head. At least he doesn't look like he's got a piece of wood or something in his eye. I don't get it. He looks like he's getting poked in the eye. Dair's not going to throw a lot either. He's going to just kind of sit in front. He's got good kicks for a big guy. His hip mobility is pretty good for his size. Um, but Tobias is a big, beefy dude, a Brazilian guy who's going to hit you with a lot of power, and then he'll level change. And if you put him against the cage, the moment you get close and try and throw in, he'll level change again. His ground and pound is nasty. That's, I feel like, his bread and butter, and I feel like we should get to it right away in this fight. You're not getting Nurgozhay the time to sit there on the feet and figure you out. I don't like Tobias leaning, because like I said, Nurgozhay's kicks are there. Dair's another guy. He's shown us twice in a row. He has no ground game. Now he's going up against a guy who arguably has the best ground and pound out of the two people he's just lost to. Who's the other one? I know it was Ribeiro. Saudi Baldiev. Okay, so Saudi Baldiev, his ground and pound's okay. But I still think Tobias' ground and pound is much better. It's just like Bolanos. What have you shown us? You've shown us that once you're on your back, you're a turtle and you're just going to get your ass beat. And like another thing I didn't say about Bolanos, you're not fighting a choke. Like his most recent fight, he went to sleep. You're not fighting the hands, nothing. You're just sitting there. Pretty brain dead. And then Nurgozhay, he got Ezekiel choked. I'm just not a fan. I don't know. Give us Tobias ground and pound. We're taking him.
Yeah, no, I think you said it best. And from a betting perspective, look out for that TKO. The ground and pound is going to be there for this kid, Brazilian. So he's got the ground game. And JP, what a tapology photo, I must say. I mean, it looks
Truth.
like it's straight out of a movie. So they really did him justice with that tapology photo. I wonder who decides what profile picture gets chosen for tapology, because some of these guys have very awkward and weird photos, and other guys it looks very intentional, like they submitted it to tapology.
Yeah.
Very strange. Not sure what that process looks like, but either way, a good looking guy in and outside of the octagon. All right, that takes us up to the next fight that we have, and it's going to be the Tibetan Eagle, Sumudaerji, taking on Jesus Aguilar. And JP, I can take this one for us real quick. Sumudaerji, he's one of these guys that he can be very good when he's locked in. Like JP said on one of the previous fighters, the last two performances, pretty good. The Mitch Raposo fight was a lot closer, and you saw the decision with it being split. It was a close fight. Now the Kevin Borjas win, a much better, cleaner performance. Sumudaerji is going to look to stand and strike. His striking is very clean, precise. He's also improved the ground game. That was one of his downfalls previously when he was fighting in the UFC. If you know anything about Sumudaerji, he fought in the UFC for a while and then had to take some time away. But now he's back in the UFC. It seems very committed to the sport, to the octagon, and I think he's going to put on a good performance against Jesus Aguilar, who's kind of this like little compact ball. He's going to press forward and look to throw big looping overhands, and I just think that really in this matchup, Sumudaerji is going to piece him up, and pick him apart. That's how I see this fight playing out. So give us Sumudaerji to get the job done.
Exactly. And some of you might be saying exactly how Brevin just mentioned it. Oh, this guy's done nothing but get choked out when he loses. You just said right. But then we've seen the evolution of he has decent takedown defense now. He will fight the hands. He will sprawl. He's with Team Alpha Male ever since he went to Team Alpha Male. A lot better takedown defense. For two, and then you guys are probably on the same side. Jesus, he's got a nasty gilly. He's got a nasty choke game. He does. He really does. Everybody he's fighting and beating with this guillotine are short, stocky wrestlers the same size as him. He's going to be, what is it here? 10 inches of reach.
Yeah.
Suma's already going to be faster. He's now going to have 10 inches of reach. And Jesus Aguilar is all of a sudden this disgusting offensive wrestler. No, he's not. He's just good with his gilly. He's shot maybe 5 takedowns at the most in each one of his fights. His last 4 fights, he's landed 1. He's not this world-class wrestler. Tim Elliott, who choked out Sumudaerji, crafty vet. We've said it a million times about Tim. He's a crafty guy with a super awkward style. Very hard for people to figure out. Matt Snell, jiu-jitsu guy. He's looking to choke you out, right? Charles Johnson, you're going to sue Sumudaerji? Say that 3 times fast. For losing to Charles Johnson? Look at Loner Kavanaugh. Look at Joshua Vay. Okay? On the feet, he's going to be much better. I think he's going to piece up Aguilar on the feet. I don't think Aguilar is going to have a chance to even get anywhere near a gilly unless Suma is just an idiot and tries to shoot a takedown on him, which we don't need to. He's going to outkick him, do all this stuff. And then, Brevin, I was going to bring up, I remember this Raposo fight. Everybody's saying it was close. Raposo should have won. This makes no sense to me. When you go 6 for 19 on takedowns.
Listen, either way, I don't care. It showed us what we need to be shown, and that's that Sumudaerji can defend takedowns now. That was something that he had struggled with early on, but both in the Raposo fight and the Charles Johnson loss, he was defending takedowns and he was scrambling really well. So either way, it is what it is. Thank you, Raposo, for shooting 19 takedowns or whatever it was, because to me, that just checked another box for our boy, the Tibetan Eagle.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you're just showing us evolutions of your game. You know, I got to stop getting choked out. I got to get to my feet somehow. But then the dude landed 9 significant strikes. Like, it's mind-blowing what these people think wins you a fight. Like, if a quarterback goes 6 for 19, you think he sucks. You're like, oh, he's terrible. I don't know. It's crazy.
All right, that's going to move us up to Cody Durden taking on um, Neem Jargle
Whoa.
Tumendemberel.
Whoa.
That was good. Neem Jargle.
Yeah, this guy. I believe Brevin touched on it last week with Karashketa. What do they call her? Heavy-handed. And she's only got 1 KO. And then this guy, Neem Jargle, is art of the KO. And he has 2 knockouts. We got to stop. I don't know who's giving the nicknames. Just like Brevin said with the Tapology photos. If it's the fighters submitting their nicknames, let's put it through a review process and look at their history. Okay? Because you can't be calling art of the KO when you don't knock people out. This fight was a very close one for me and Brevin. We're sitting here talking about it. You could be on either side, honestly. If you're on the Cody Durden side, you probably like his pressure. He's going to bring a lot of pressure. He's going to be in your face. He can wrestle a little bit, okay? He'll bring pace also. If you get through the first round, that pace considerably drops, and he's a little bit easier to deal with. If you can't defend takedowns, normally people get beat up in the first round, and then he's not as tired because he's not getting them stuffed. But you normally know if Cody Durden's going to lose after the first round because he's tired and his takedowns were getting stuffed. He doesn't move his head. He will throw. His boxing's decent. He can land some combinations. He will throw. But he doesn't move his head. Neem Jargle doesn't move his head either. Okay, but he's got very long arms for his size. I think they should change his nickname to the Art of the Choke because he's got a decent choke game. He's guillotine, anacondas, stuff like that. And I am worried for Cody in that manner. I do think Neem Jargle can sub him. We can't search for it too much because then we're going to be on our back a little too much, but he can grapple. I don't think Cody can scramble as well as Carlos Hernandez does. And I know that fight was close. People think he should have won, blah, 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 whatever. But that's his only loss, split decision loss. If you're on the Cody side, I don't blame you, but I just feel like we can't trust Cody at this point. He's been knocked out. I mean, he's lost 7 times out of the 9 losses that he has in his career. He's losing by finish. I think he might get choked out here. We're taking Neem Jargle.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those that even though we don't like Tumendemberel's game all that much, Cody Durden just hasn't showed us much as of late. And so, with Tumendemberel coming forward and looking to grapple, we think he can just be the better of the two. I don't think it's going to be a clean striking performance from either guy. Tumendemberel, yeah, he calls himself the art of the knockout. He doesn't have great hands and he's kind of slow on the feet. When honestly, I would say that so is Cody Durden. So look for Tumendemberel to try to get this fight to the mat, and then from there, I think he can get the job done. So we'll rock with him, but very close fight nonetheless.
I mean, his striking is pretty slow, but it's at least technically sound. Like it's at least straight stuff. But I think whoever moves their head once and lands a combo wins a fight. All right, moving up. Ricky Turcios returns after he won his last fight via witchcraft or whatever you will. Cameron Smotherman headbutt in the ground, going up against newcomer Alberto Montes.
Yeah, looking forward to this fight just because this Montes guy is an up and coming prospect with some absolutely nasty chokes to his resume. He's already had 6 wins via submission, and he's very fresh to the fight game. So I'm excited to see what this kid can do. If you look at his Tapology, record, anaconda choke, Darce choke, anaconda choke, it's just time and time again, he's getting guys with the same move. It just reminds me of like a Volter Walker where they specialize in one thing and it's just like so nasty that people can't defend it. And if it works, it works. And I think in this matchup, like we could potentially see him find another submission. Turcios, sure, he's kind of been around the block, fought everybody, in the division. He is very well rounded. Like he'll throw hands with people, he can wrestle and grapple as well, but he's always kind of been really hit or miss, losing to some of the better guys in the division, winning against some of the guys that really didn't have their skill set well rounded. In this one, though, I do think his opponent, um, Alberto Montes, is going to be able to get the job done. Look for another submission to be live. If you want to bet this fight, I would take a look at the Montes via submission. Just because Tertios is a willing grappler, so I don't think he's going to shy away from entering into those grappling exchanges.
Yeah, this dude's even his transitions, like the guy he fought on Contender Series, who I also think is pretty decent as well. The scrambles that they were having and the transitions that were happening, very entertaining grappling and at pretty high level. This dude, he was on a reverse crucifix at one point and scrambled all the way to an anaconda choke or a darce, I think it was, and then threatened with a darce. And then they're rolling, and then he'll roll to the other side. It's crazy to watch. He truly does specialize in that. On top of that, Ricky the Rat, dude's a bum. Dude is a bum. You guys know, and if you're new here, the one thing I can't stand are these aura farming, shit talking trash cans. If you're getting your ass beat and you're sitting there waving them on, laughing or pointing, you look like an idiot. You have the ability to punch him in the face, and you're choosing to smile and wave him on when you're getting your ass kicked. I can't stand it. The only thing Ricky is good at is talking shit while he's getting the shit kicked out of him. Give us Montes.
Yeah, a long time ago, he did find a win over my boy Steve Garcia. Very
Yikes.
long time ago. I would like to see them run that fight back just for Steve to get his revenge.
Good old Stevie boy.
All right. That takes us up to two individuals in the middleweight division. One of them you may have not heard of before. The other, I'm probably pretty sure you have. Dante Johnson taking on Cody Brundage.
Lock of the century. Give us Cody freaking Brundage. I feel like at this point, look, all right. Every other time we've talked about Cody, I've done nothing but sit up here and just shit on him. Like I just shit on Turcios. Screw Turcios, okay? Cody, my guy. Honest to God, I hope he's doing okay. I hope mentally he's gonna figure stuff out. I hope he's doing all right, in life as a person, as a human being. we got to stop fighting. You just don't want to. It's just so evidently clear you don't want to. There's a reason we call him Cody Controversy Brundage. And then he's just, how long ago was it, Brevin? Like 3 weeks ago? Obviously, I'm joking, but January. Like, no shot. After you getting your ass kicked, and nothing looked different. He sits there and he keeps dipping every time he goes to throw. He's got a big, large overhand. He can grapple a little bit because he's strong. Like his last 5 are, honest to God, it's not even his last 5. Let's go through it. In 2022, he had a 2-fight winning streak, knocked out Tresean Gore. Hey now. Lost to Oleg Zaechuk, slumped him. Lost to Rodolfo Vieira. Okay, that's another big boy, big body. My computer's wigging out. This dude lost to Dog Crate Dumas. I mean, if that's not enough for you, I don't know what is. Okay, he lost to Jacob Malkoon. This was the start of his crap. Okay, elbows to the back of the head, and then it's a win on his record. He lost. He slammed Zach Reese. Okay, cool. Great. Zach Reese, known for fumbling, whatever. Good win. Bo Nickel lost, got choked out. Abdul Razak Al Hassan, no contest after he's getting his ass kicked. I got poked in the eye. Ryan Loder counts a bout. Julian Marquez win after he got rocked by Marquez. The dude who wanted to date Miley Cyrus. I mean, stop me when you've had enough. Jesus Christ. Mansour Abdul Malik, result overturned. He got his ass beat. And then Eric McConaughey split decision. Our boy from Phoenix. And then Cam Morrison beat his ass. It's time to hang him up. All right. I won't shit on him anymore. I hope he's good as a human being. We're taking Dante. Dante's probably going to kick the shit out of him.
Yeah, honestly, I would love to see Dante Johnson kick the shit out of him. I mean, I can't stand Cody Brundage. JP wants to be done talking about him. I can't stand the guy. What a cop out. What an absolute cop out. If you don't want to fight, there's so many freaking people out there in the United States of America that would love to fight for the UFC and being inside of that organization. You're such a bum. Get out of the company. You're trash. Stop fighting. Dante Johnson, go out there and knock this little boy out.
That's funny, dude. That's funny. I tried to turn a new leaf. All right. Moving up. The return, Cody Garbrandt. Once our hero. Once the guy. Taking on Long Xiao.
You know, for some reason, we always did like Cody Garbrandt. We used to like Cody Garbrandt when JP and I were much younger. Before we started the show, we talk about him a lot, liked his game, liked his style, his aura. You know, things were going well for Cody Garbrandt once upon a time. Then things really took a turn. I know he was like battling vertigo inside the octagon. He would get knocked out. His hands weren't as fast as they quick to be as they used to be. His reaction time really slowed down. And so we've really seen the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs of Cody No Love Garbrandt. He's getting the opportunity to fight Long Zhao, who, let's be honest, is not a well-known guy in the division. He's not a Davison Figueiredo, who was former champ. He's not even a Brian Kelleher. He's not a Kai Kara France. He's not a Rob Font. Like those are some of the guys that Cody Garbrandt's been fighting as of late. He gets the opportunity to turn things around, fighting Long Zhao. Who's Long Zhao's striking is not very good. Doesn't move his head very well. Hands aren't very good, but he'll look to wrestle a little bit. We just think Cody's going to have a good bounce back performance and land one of his big time punches, probably an overhand right on the chin of Long Zhao. I could see Cody knocking this cat out. You're getting Cody at dog value as well, being the underdog right now. So if you're seeing this video, take a look at the lines as we speak because they may swing as more and more people really start to look at this fight deeply. I think Cody's still got the skills. He's fought well in his past performances, just had a little bit of a gas tank issue in his last one against Barcelos, even after a very strong start in round one, knocking Barcelos down. So give us Cody No Love Garbrandt to get the job done over Long Zhao. I wish him all the best, but Long Zhao is just not very good.
Hey, we're doing it. Call us crazy. All right, call us crazy. Play the Shrek theme song. I need a hero. All right, and it's Cody Garbrandt to the rescue. Okay. um, and this might be the Marlon Chito Vera pick of the week. Don't care. Long Xiao's not that good. His striking is butt cheeks, doesn't move his head. He'll sit in the pocket way too long. And that's quite literally where Cody thrives, is in the pocket. He's got fast hands. Might not be as fast as he used to be. Still pretty quick, okay? He'll throw volume and combos when you're in the pocket. Yes, he leaves his chin out there and drops his hands. He dropped Barcelos. He was winning that fight. And everybody's saying, oh, this and that. Barcelos went 1 for 11 on takedowns. Again, what the hell are we talking about? The only reason Cody fumbled is because A, he dropped him, and then he wants to sit there and taunt. We got to stop doing that shit. I know he did it in the Dominic Cruz fight. And that's probably why me and Brevin like him, honestly. That Dominic Cruz performance was one of the best things I've ever seen live. That was crazy. But then, like Brevin said, he gassed out, and then he's shooting trash takedowns on his own. I think Barcelos is a much better grappler than Long Xiao. Long Xiao's okay, but his striking's not good. He hasn't fought anybody good. Dude's 5-3 in his career with KOs. We got to do it, Cody. We have to do it. Call it a bias pick. Call it whatever you want. We're taking Cody Garbrandt dog money.
Yeah, feeling good about that one. And for the record, guys, we did not pick Marlon Cheeto Vera last week. JP was just saying that the pick itself. If
Yeah,
we would have picked him, this could be related to this one right here, just because of it's not the best on paper. So all those that were picking Marlon Cheeto Vera, that's what we're relating it to. We were definitely not picking Cheeto last weekend. All right. That's gonna take us up to the main card. And I hope you guys are buckled in and ready for this one because I think this card's gonna be juiced. The main card I think is pretty juiced. Um, Granted, we don't have a title fight besides the BMF. Okay. I kind of like when they do the BMF and a title fight,
I agree.
just the BMF title fight. It is what it is. We've really made it into something that out of thin air. We created the BMF belts out of thin air with Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Where's he at? The Rock never shows up to these things anymore. Anyways, we're going to start off with an absolute banger between Gregory RoboCop Rodriguez against Bruno the Hulk Ferreira.
Great fight. Rematch fight. And this is what you want to see, okay? Both guys have an issue with gassing out. In the last fight, Bruno slumping RoboCop. But honestly, I don't think there's much to it. You can watch the old fight if you want. You can watch how they've both looked before. Both guys got a lot of power. Both guys have been slumped before. Both guys can grapple. Both guys have good jiu-jitsu. Me, it comes down, these are both similar fighters. Their styles and everything, pretty similar, if not the same. One guy's just bite size, and the other guy's... RoboCop is a full king-size Twix. And Bruno Ferreira's the little bite-sized Twix you give out at Halloween. You know what I mean? In the last fight, he just caught him. I mean, Gregory's walking in with his hands down, enters range, drops his hands, and then just sits there. Perfect check, left hook. So, it's going to happen. If you ask me, I think RoboCop was at an all-time high with his confidence. I believe he was coming in off of 2 KO wins in a row before that. And I think he was coming in saying, I'm going to slump this guy too. Which I still do think he has a chance to. And if you watch the fight, he was landing on Bruno. I think 7 times out of 10 when these two fight, I think Gregory takes it. We're taking RoboCop in this one. I think he's going to be much smarter, keep his hands up when he's close in range because he's bigger. Use that jab, the leg kicks, everything. I like RoboCop's stand-up. We're taking him.
Yeah, JP, I agree. I think really it's just going to be about can RoboCop fight a smart fight? And I really do think he can. I mean, a lot of people kind of don't really know what they're getting with RoboCop, but you really have to study the film with him because as of late, this guy's really evolved. He's not just one of these tough, durable guys that has earned his nickname, right? Being the RoboCop. He fought a really, really good fight against Roman Kopylov, who many people consider a really high level striker in the division. Okay. He's not just taking these guys down and controlling them. If the fight does go down to the ground, though, I think RoboCop has the advantage there. He's obviously felt the power of Bruno in the past. Now, I don't want that to hinder his ability to press forward and land volume, right? We can't like sit there and match the volume of Bruno because that's how you end up losing on the scorecards. Do what has gotten you to this point, right? Like they say don't leave the girl you took to the dance, right? Chael Sonnen says that. And I think really that's what Gregory Rodriguez has to really focus on is like, hey, I found success fighting this style for the entirety of my career. I did get knocked out by this guy, but don't change the game plan going into the fight. Besides, maybe just be mindful of that left hook. That's what caught him, right? That left down the pipe. Um, but he's just so skilled, and he's fought really, really good fights as of late. This guy's 34 years old. I think he's entering his prime. Many people know him for the stand up, but this guy's also very skilled on the ground. Maybe there's a chance he gets Ferreira down to the ground and potentially submits him, knowing the danger coming back in his direction from Bruno. So we'll have to see. But I definitely think there's a lot more ways to win for Gregory Robocop Rodriguez.
Yeah, and I mean, I know Bruno's strong as shit too, but Gregory to grapple with must be a son of a bitch, dude. Like that, this dude is an absolute unit when you look at him. All right, moving up the card. God, this card is stacked, and this fight is going to be a barn burner for sure. There's going to be a lot of blood in this one. Drew Dober, the cement block of a head, is taking on Michael Johnson.
Yeah, this is an interesting matchup, guys. Drew Dober, many people would sit here and just like, oh, he's fighting an old man in Michael Johnson, right? Well, guys, Drew Dober, even though he's got a little bit of a baby face, is 37 years old. Okay. So he's no young gun around here. Michael Johnson, 39 years old. Yes, he's a little bit older, but he's coming off of a really nice win over Zell Huber, which can we say it was a good win at this point? Zellhuber is actually bunts, and, we'll just leave that there. But in this matchup, Drew Dober, like JP said, a brick for a head. He can eat damage, and guess what? Michael Johnson can deal it. I don't love the, technicality or the, technical side of Dober striking. I think there's a little bit of work to be done and some stuff to clean up. I think Michael Johnson's the better overall striker, and he carries a lot of power. I mean, ask everyone that's fought Michael Johnson. It may not look powerful, but when he lands, he does damage. Well, Drew Dober can take damage, but for how long? And I think that's the question in this one. So give us Michael the Menace Johnson to maybe pull out a little bit of an upset if these lines keep swinging in Dober's direction. And I sure hope they do so we get Michael Johnson that dog money. But right now, he is a slight favorite.
Yeah, this dude. I mean, if we're doing not the BMF title, I mean, if we're doing like a title for best jawline in the UFC, I think it's a runaway. I think Drew Dober all day long. You
Is he
know,
getting Botox?
I don't know. You remember his last fight? I think they were asking him about that, right?
I think there's something in that guy's face, that's for sure.
Because when you're watching, like, I know on social media, like the girls who do UFC, like UFC for girls or whatever. I remember the last time he was fighting, there was a bunch of these girls posting, if you want to get into UFC, now's the time. Drew Dober's fighting because they all think he's like the best looking thing ever. And I mean, dude does have a jawline, that's for sure. Maybe that's the secret. The eating shots is just get one of those little rubber balls that they use to work out your jawline. You know what I'm talking about?
See, that's the weird thing about women, though. They say stuff like that until they realize Drew Dober's 5'8". Then they're like, "I want a guy over 6 foot."
Yeah,
Well, pick and choose your battles. We've got Drew Dober to offer you, but the dude's only 5'8".
that's true. Yeah, I mean, most of them probably don't even look at how tall he is, and they probably cry and eat ice cream for the rest of the night because they're sad about it. But um, yeah, dude, I don't know. He's him and Kelvin Gastelum just blocks for a head, and when you hit him so many times, everybody starts to gas and crumble because you've hit this dude with literally everything, and he's still standing in front of you shaking his big ass head. Um, but one thing about Drew, he bleeds real fast and he bleeds a lot of scar tissue on that thing because he takes a lot of
Oh, yeah.
damage. You know, you can have the best head movement in the world. When your head's that big, you're gonna get hit. It's just gonna happen. And like Brevin's saying, Michael Johnson's still pretty decent at stand up. Okay, let's give him the respect he deserves. Long ass arms, good jab, great jab. Um, Pretty fast for his age still. I believe he's gonna be faster than Drew. Personally, that's my belief. And more power. than Dober. Dober puts a lot of volume out there, and that's normally how he gets guys out of there. But Michael Johnson does have the death touch, I guess you call it. Not quite as bad, but he turns over his hooks very well. And just the long arms. It's just physics, right? His long arms coming way out there. He clips people and puts them out. So, yeah, we're taking Michael Johnson. The lines are moving pretty quick right now. He's still a favorite, but come fight night, you get some of these ladies betting on Dober, getting their boyfriends to bet on Dober. I think we might get some dog money here.
It's true. That's true. These guys out here don't wanna just feel that remorse when their lady's standing up cheering after a Drew Dober victory, so they're throwing their money their money on the Drew Dober money line, to feel a little bit better about themselves as well, but I just don't see it playing out that way. Alright. We're moving up on this card. Another interesting fight here with a very, very young gun going up against an older gentleman in this division. Rob Font is taking on Raul Rosas Jr.
Oh man, I like how we talk about big head, chin, jawline,
Hey, the jawline on this cat.
and then we go to Rojas.
Let's talk about his jawline.
um, if you don't want to be choked out, go to a plastic surgeon and ask him for the Rojas Jr.,
Special.
the special, and see what they can do for you. No wonder this dude's never been choked out. I mean, I don't even know.
There's no chin to get under.
Yeah, like maybe you could try and neck crank him, I guess, but no anacondas, no gillies, no rear nakeds, no darce. There's no chin to get under. So you got to put it under his chin and you just probably slide right up to his nose, honest to God.
Which you'll slide right off of that too. It's a little crooked.
I mean, Mr. Chi Weewees, he's just, you look at him and people say, oh, yeah, he says Chi Weewees all the time. You're like, yeah, that makes sense. He looks like the type of guy that would scream Chi Weewees. But boy,
That's true. Listen, I just gotta add one thing real quick. I mean, if your lady is watching UFC for the first time, yeah, put on that Drew Dober fight, let her experience that, and then she's gonna be like, "Dude, I love UFC. I'm gonna watch it with you every single week." And then the very next fight, they're gonna be showing Raul Rosas Jr. You better turn off the TV screen because she's gonna lose her interest real quick.
oh, man. With all this being said, though, we love Rojas. Okay, when he screams "Chiwiwi's" hilarious. We love it. We back it, and we're backing him again. Okay, he can wrestle like a son of a bitch. Been training since he was real young. Rob Font's a bitch. If you're if you're not gonna glove touch, that's one thing. Okay, I don't care. Glove touch or don't glove touch. Don't be a pussy and pretend like you're gonna do it and then hit the guy in the face. You're a bitch. You're just a straight up bitch. He still should have lost. On top of that, Kyler Phillips was taking him down. The only way Mr. Chiwiwis loses this fight is if he pulls a Christian Rodriguez type fight and just sits there and tries to strike with him and doesn't wrestle. I think he already learned that lesson. I think he learned that lesson at a good age because, Brevin, did he come in at 18? Do I remember that right?
Yes. Yep.
And he's 21. Like, he's still very young. But he learned at an early age. You're not just going to beat everybody's ass. Go to your wheelhouse and do what's going to get you the win. The Vince Morales fight was close. I get it. Vince Morales has got sneaky subs off his back. Okay, he's a tough cookie to crack. We're taking Chiwiwis.
Yeah. I think, if Raul puts on a solid performance against Rob Font, gets the job done, it's really going to skyrocket this kid up the rankings inside of the bantamweight division. We saw Rob Font just get done fighting David Martinez, who then beat Marlon Cheeto Vera. If Raul gets the job done against Rob Font, I just think it propels him to the next level, and I think that's what he's gonna go out there and do. Raul, very skilled on the ground, very, very aggressive. He is still very young. The hands have come a long way as well. I just like JP said, I'm gonna reiterate, I just can't have him standing out there at range with Rob Font, who has very crisp boxing, okay? I hope that he's learned his lesson, that we have to utilize the strikes to work in the grappling and get our takedowns. Rob Font at times has shown that he can defend takedowns, but in some other fights, he's been taken down quite a bit. And if you give Raul Rosas that many opportunities, he will get the job done. So I'm not going to give a method of victory outside the submission. If you want to play the submission for Rosas, go for it. But you may want to stay away from this fight altogether with the lines being what they may be on Saturday. But give us Raul Rosas Jr. I think it's going to be fine, and I think he's going to get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, it just comes down to fight IQ, really, and like we're saying, with how young he is. Like personally, I think he learned that lesson at a good age.
Yeah.
Like it just matters. Are you gonna take that and use it, or are you just gonna get into fight mode and then be a dumbass?
Yeah, it's just one of those guys, one of those fights, guys, where it's like the super, super young guys going up against a very, chiseled veteran. Like Rob Font's fought some of the best guys in the division. Sure, he's had his ups and downs, but 38 now, like he has good fight IQ. It's just like, does he still have the skills to win this fight? We'll have to see. Rosas, I think he's still kind of working through some of the kinks of the fight IQ portion of it.
Yep, 100%. All right, co-main event, and this one's gonna be a barn burner. Caio Borralho, the fighting nerds man himself, taking on Rainer de Quitter.
Yeah, Dick Witter. Listen, guys, I'm going to try not to be too biased. If you've watched the show, you know that we were really high on Rainier de Ritter for a long time. The loss to Brendan Allen really rubbed us the wrong way. It looked like he didn't want to be there that night either. He came out after the fight, made a bunch of excuses as to why he wasn't his normal self. I don't give a rat's ass. Listen, the guy has not improved his striking besides the little knee to the liver after a combination. His hands are terrible, his chin's straight up in the air. I look for Caio to have a really successful night on the feet. The thing is, too, Caio's never been submitted. He is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt in his own right, fighting with the fighting nerds, training with the fighting nerds. I think he's going to be well prepared, well coached, and well versed to everything that RDR throws at him. And then on the feet, he's just going to hold the much bigger advantage. So give us Caio Borralho to get the job done over RDR and really stop the RDR train completely in its tracks.
Yeah, and I mean, on top of the excuses, like the excuses are one thing, and I know every time somebody loses, it's always this and that. And like I understand, and what would you say, Brevin? Like 70%, 80% of your fight camps, something's probably gonna happen.
Oh yeah. Yep. I mean, ask a bunch of these guys. There's always something going on in a fight camp. No one ever enters a fight 110% healthy.
Yeah, and like even if you have a perfect fight camp, people have said I've had a great camp, felt great. I go in there and I got the shit kicked out of me, or I got knocked out. Like I feel like it matters more of like how are you dealing with this leading up to the fight, because that's some say that's like the adversity before you get to the fight. That's the fight before the fight type shit. And like I know they say that about weight cutting too, but like you're always something's gonna happen. You're gonna hurt a toe, hurt this, hurt that, get knocked out, can't run, whatever it is. But then you're making all these excuses as to why you're quit. I don't fucking believe you. This is the second time you've quit. You did it in one championship, and now you're doing it here. And we even said that's why we picked him against Rob, and then that's why we picked him against Brendan Allen, which, A, Brendan Allen showed us levels to his striking. It looked way better. That was my one thing. I don't like Brendan Allen because I don't think his striking is that good. It looked way better. Granted, was it because it was against RDR? Maybe. But we've always said that step through knee, when it lands, it's a problem. But if he can't get it to land, his chin's way up in the air. Robert Whitaker showed you that. Boom. I think Rob might have fumbled it, the ref not calling it, whatever it was. Okay. Should have put him out. Brendan Allen showed you if you're not afraid of his grappling, you can piece him up on the feet, then he's Rainer to quitter. Caio has a very similar stance to Rob, that karate blitz bladed esh type stance. And like Brevin said, he can grapple like a mug. I think Kyle Borralho beats the shit out of Rainer de Ritter. I think he slumps him on Saturday.
Yep. Love it. I'm excited to see Kaio really perform. I think the Imavov fight, it was a good fight, but Kaio really didn't open up with the volume, and I think that's what we got to see, especially with a much lesser striker in Renier de Ritter. I think this is just his opportunity to really show what he has. being inside of the top 10 of that middleweight division, you really have to start putting on really solid performances. And he's had some in the past, but to knock out Ranier de Ritter, maybe even early in this matchup, would really put a stamp on his skill set, for another shot at the title for Caio. All right, that's going to take us up to the moment you've all been waiting for, the BMF title match between Max Blessed Holloway taking on Charles Du Bronx Oliveira.
Oh man, man. We debated, well, not debated. I guess we just talked about this fight quite a bit before we filmed. This one's tough for us, guys. We thoroughly love both of these guys. I mean, both of these guys have been top of the list, entertainment wise, just favorite fighter wise, all the above. If you're a fighting fan, you probably feel the same way. If you're not a fighting fan and you're just getting into it, this is probably the perfect card for you because both of these dudes are going to bring the heat. Okay. Neither of these guys are going to shy away, get on their bike, make excuses, nothing. Max Holloway, I mean, the dude, how many edits have we seen of him in the Calvin Cater fight or him in any fight, right? The volume.
Ortega.
The Ortega fight. Literally grabbing Ortega's hands and moving them, saying, bro, you got to move your hands here and block like this. Which is crazy. The downfall of Brian Ortega is nuts. um, the volume, the striking, the boxing, best boxing in the UFC. I mean, I remember watching that Calvin Cater fight. I think it was early in the morning, maybe. I don't remember, but I remember I was just screaming, and Sierra walked in. And she was like, "What the hell are you doing?" And I was like, "You got to see what just happened. That was nuts." But you just can't not like Max. And I was kind of on the Max side. Charles Du Bronx. First of all, the Ice Spice edit when she won her award and she's saying shout out the Bronx, but it sounds like Charles Du Bronx, and then it cuts to Charlie Du Bronx. It's so funny. And then it sparked rumors of them dating, I guess. That shit was hilarious.
Meanwhile, the dude has like a wife and kids, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Shout out to Bronx. Shout out to Bronx. I'd love that edit, dude. This dude, I mean, what can you say about him? Everybody calling him a quitter early in his career, which granted he kind of was. He kind of was. And it was near the time of like the first Max Holloway fight, which I understand it was some weird neck, shoulder injury. But I mean, the run that this dude has had, he is one of the most elite fight finishers of all time. On the ground, I mean, I think it would be hard for you to name somebody who's more dangerous on the ground right now off the top of your head. He's just the guy you think of. And then on the feet, his stand up has come miles from what it used to be. Now he's knocking people out. God, this was such a tough pick for me, dude. Such a tough pick. We sat here and talked about it. You guys know, everybody who's been here, you know, everybody who hasn't. We think Charles beat Arman. Okay? I understand it was a split decision. We think he won that. If we're talking about damage, danger, chance of ending the fight, those two submissions were extremely deep. Other than that, they've both lost to Ilya. They both got slumped. Throw that out the window. Everybody's losing to Ilya right now. Charles Oliveira has only lost to Islam Makhachev. If you're on our side, counting the Arman Sarukian as a win. And then if you look at Max, well, he's only lost to Volk. Right. Both guys are fighting extremely high level competition. You could sit here and say Max is going to sit up on the feet, just outpoint him, outstrike him, beat him up. I was on that train of thought, but then I sat here and I'm saying I'm not listening to my own advice. Who has more ways to win? It's Charles. People say, well, Max has got great takedown defense. Sure. Does Charles need to take you down to submit you? How many times does he climb people's back like a backpack? Max is getting taken down by Volk, by Ilya. I'll let Brevin touch on the other guy who's taking him down because I bet you nobody in the comments will guess that. We've never seen him on his back, and now if it gets to it, it's against the most elite, dangerous guy there. Dog Money, Charles Dubronx, shout out Ice Spice. We're freaking doing it, man. Give us Charlie O.
Yeah, let's go. Shout out Ice Spice for sure. Okay. Um, anyways, off topic. Listen,
Oh,
guys.
man.
Listen. All right. A lot of people are going to look at this one. It's hard. It's a hard one to evaluate. Both of these guys are phenomenal. And like JP said, if you kind of take out the Ilya fight, I mean, Ilya's on another level, right? Knocked both guys out. These guys have fought the best of the best. Um, they are two of the best fighters that the UFC's ever seen, in my opinion. Not, in total, not the top two, but they're up there. Okay, they fought a bunch of guys. They've gone on crazy win streaks. The one thing for me in this matchup is two things. I said the one thing for me. There's two things in this matchup. One, the rematch is now. Sorry.
You're thinking of Ice Spice still.
Oh, there's a few things there too. Um, There's a couple of things. One, this matchup's at 155. Okay. When they fought at 145, Max was really quick. He was fast with his hands. He was light on his feet, and he still is. But when Charles moved to 155, like there is a new level of danger that Charles presents with his hands as well. There's a new level of power. Okay. The one thing that I actually like in this matchup is that their fight went really quick when they first fought each other. A lot of times, if a guy can feel the other's power, right, there's a lot of either confidence that goes into the rematch or knowledge and IQ that goes into the rematch. There was nothing that either guy could really take away from their first matchup, which I like if you're on the Charles's side. The other thing too is Charles has just fought tremendously. You're getting him at a really good value here, being the underdog. Well, guess what? He was the underdog in their first matchup as well. Shoots in on that takedown. He would have got that takedown, in my opinion, if the shoulder didn't come out. The fight was over after that. Um, JP said I'll mention it when I go. Yeah, Conor freaking McGregor took down Max Holloway in their matchup. Conor had a torn ACL in that fight as well. Laid on him for all 5 minutes in the third round. Okay. He fought very smart with the torn ACL. He took him down, held him there. If Conor McGregor is doing that to you, and I know, guys, I know it was so long ago. I know it's not fair to equate the two, but a lot of you guys are going to equate the previous fight and look at that and say, well, look at what happened. If you're gonna say that and use that logic, I can bring up Conor McGregor's fight against Max Holloway where he was held down. Now, Max Holloway, one of the best takedown defenses in the division. But Charles pressure with his size, Max being very comfortable backing up and fighting that way, I think is just gonna find himself up against the fence, and Charles is gonna shoot in for a takedown. Get it? I look for Charles to take the back of Max Holloway and find that submission. So give us two Bronx. Shout out Ice Spice, all of the
Sheesh.
above. Let's freaking go.
Yeah. All right. Regardless of what happens, honestly, we're picking this fight because we pick every single fight. I don't really give a shit who wins. I love both of these guys. Okay. Max could win, still super happy. Charles win, happy. But like Brevin said, yeah, Max, he strikes, which granted, he strikes great on the back foot. Like, we're not saying there's shit wrong with that other people. Not with Max. Max has perfected doing that because he'll still throw volume. But yeah, Charles coming forward. If Max doesn't slump him, which Max normally knocks people out because he puts volume on people. He's not like a one shot guy. You guys would be like, oh, Korean Zombie, Justin Gaethje. Those were both at the end of the fight. 15 minutes, 25 minutes. Like, Max isn't known for power. He's known for shots, multiple, volume. But
I would be perplexed if over the course of 25 minutes that Charles isn't getting Max all the way to the ground. Certainly, if he doesn't, then I could see it going Max's way. I'll come out and say that. But if you give Charles Oliveira 25 minutes, I expect him to find the back of Max Holloway, which a lot of people haven't seen his defense when someone's on his back in years. And I think it happens on Saturday. And we're going to find out. All right. That does it for the card. It doesn't do it for the show, guys. Don't go anywhere. We have your free show parlays coming your way. Listen, I know the lock last week was disappointing. I know the lock previously was disappointing, but we are back, guys. I'm telling you, this is the one to pay attention to. But before we dive into the free show parlays, if you guys enjoy UFC content, if you guys are enjoying the channel, the content that we bring you here on Locked Door MMA, leave a like on the video right freaking now and make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on a Locked Door MMA video. But JP, with that being said, let's dive into Locked Door MMA's lock of the night. Who do we have this week?
Hey, I get it. All right, last week, whatever, is what it is. We picked a bum, mainly because he was fighting a bum. Who knows? But this week, we went back to the drawing board. We thought about it. And who are we picking? And one guy just popped out. There was a couple that popped out, honestly, but a couple red flags here, a couple red flags there. We found one. Not really any red flags, and we haven't done it in a while. We're doing it now. I mean, the glare's just terrible. Fighting nerds, stand up. We're taking Kyle Borralho, who beat Rainier the Quitter on Saturday night. Fighting nerds, stand up. The reflection in the glass is crazy.
Wild. Let's freaking go. There you have it. Kyle Borralho is your lock of the night. And that's going to take us to my favorite part of the show, Brevin's Basic. Let's start with the lock. Kyle Borralho getting it done. And then we're going to move to a spot that maybe a lot of people haven't seen. Maybe these rematches might get a little people in trouble. Who knows? Give me Gregory RoboCop Rodrigues to get the job done in their rematch. And then to finish us off for the basic, give me the newcomer, Luke Fernandez, to get the job done.
Nice one. Fading Bellato there. Love that. Love that.
He fades himself.
I still can't. I can't believe it. You look at the refs. Oh, what the hell? Oh, dude. Come on, bro. Come on, brother. All right. Sit down, shut up, juicer time. And dare I say it, I'm feeling good about this one. Okay? This one might hit. Let's do it. First leg. We're fading Brundage. Sue me. We're fading Brundage. All right, throw in Dante Johnson. You could throw him in by KO. Who cares? Throw him in by... If you could throw in a bet that is Dante wins by KO and then gets overturned to a no contest, I would hammer that. If you could throw in a bet that Cody is going to clash heads with Dante at some point, I would hammer that. Just saying. Next one. Oh, he's got a nasty gilly. Oh, this and that. He's a short twerp. Sumudaerji. Throw him in there. He's out kickboxing. Little, I'm going to choke you out, Aguilar. Not this time, buddy. Sumudaerji is taking the win. Next one. Not dog money yet. Ladies, if you're here, probably aren't. Shout out to Ice Spice. Shout out to Bronx. Tell your boyfriends to go bet on Drew Dober. Everybody go hammer Drew Dober. Okay, because it's made its way towards almost even money. I'm hoping we can get dog money on Michael Johnson. Throw him in there. Next one, Chiwiwis himself. What am I worried he's going to get choked out? No. Throw him in there. The lock is a lock for a reason. Kyle Borralho. You could throw him in by KO. I honestly do think he slumps him. I think Rainer's getting caught. Robert Whitaker showed us that it can happen if you just avoid the knee, which Rob also got hit with that knee and almost got finished, but throw him in there. And the final one, like I said, Charles du Bronx, dog money. God, it's going to be a close fight. Probably going to have to sweat it out. But we're taking Charlie O. Throw him in there. 6 legs. It's juiced, baby.
Yeah, it is 1000% juice. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, leave a comment with who you got in the main event for the BMF or in the co-main as well. We want to hear from you, but we appreciate you guys sticking around for another episode here on Locked Door MMA. And with that, JP, I'll let you take us away.
A lot of fights announced. Okay, this past weekend, a lot of fights announced. We'll just go over, touch a couple of them. I know everybody, obviously the big one, Poatan vacates. Brevin, first of all, early lean Yuri or Olberg?
I like Goldberg. I think Yuri's a little bit too wild.
I agree. I agree. I think Yuri gets hit a little bit too much. Carlos might sleep him.
Carlos is precise too.
Oh God, off the back foot as well. He's another one of those guys, just like Max, except he's got power. God damn, that's a great fight. Second thing I was going to ask you, who do you think Poatan faces? You think it's going to be Cyril Gahn?
I think it has to be at this point, unless there's a you know, John Jones and Pereira matchup, which we'll see. I know Jones wants that one, so the move up to heavyweight would make sense. And Poetan's there. It could very well be John Jones. I would be a lot more excited for that than the Cyril Gahn one. But either way, I would be excited to see Alex Pereira at heavyweight, which I do believe we're going to see. So
I
I'm
agree.
excited either way.
I agree. Regardless, wow, wow. That's something. And then the other one we'll touch on briefly before we let you guys go. JDM is taking on Carlos Prates. Which I will say, I did talk to Brevin because I heard little rumors. I heard this and that. For a second there, I thought there was some truth, or not truth, but like I was worried Carlos was going to fight Conor McGregor.
Yeah, that would have not been so good for our boy. Let's just be glad that things played out the way they did.
My God, I texted Brevin and I was like, please don't do this. um, Early lean there. Think you're going Prates? Am I correct?
Listen, I'm a JDM hater. I really am, but that's a close fight. So I'll keep that one close to the chest for right now. That still has to be evaluated. That's a really close matchup for sure.
Great fights. And yeah, the more I think about it, this Brevin guy is a JDM hater. Okay. Up until this point, we thought it was my fault that we got banned the first time around on TikTok. I think it was Brevin's rage bait video on JDM because that was the original video that blew us up. A lot of stuff was said in that comment section. Okay.
It wasn't said by me though.
True. But
We
maybe,
had a lot of Australians.
yeah, maybe they all just reported us. Maybe that's why we got
Yeah,
banned.
me and the Australians have a lot of beef. I don't know why, but me and the Australians just don't get along.
that's when we just took the rage bait to the moon. All right. Um Also, I did not speak on it. I forget who fought him on this card. Brady Heastand, you're a loser. Imagine lying about your record on TikTok.
But Brady Heastand, why are you a liar all of a sudden, bro? You're a liar. He tells everybody he's an undefeated UFC fighter. He's not, and he's trash. He hasn't
Imagine
fought
that.
in years. He's a liar. So
When the
I
proof
won't.
is
Say, I
literally
won't.
out there for somebody to just go do a quick Google search.
Yeah. Why are you lying about that, brother?
And then he's telling us to lick his nuts in the comments. Embarrassing. Um
Honestly, I could beat his ass. I really could. Brady Heastand, if you want to run it, brother, meet me at the Trader Joe's. You, Eric McConico, Tafa, brother, I don't care. Let's run it.
Maybe at the Trader Joe's in the orange chicken aisle.
I do go there quite a bit.
Orange chicken slaps.
Oh yeah, we grab bags every time we're there.
Hey, you're at Trader Joe's. Get some orange chicken. Watch some fights. What a card. What a card. Combine's over. All right, NFL draft soon, free agency soon, but this weekend is a absolutely stacked card. Let us know who you're taking in the comments. Help your boys out. Okay, the algorithm's kind of back to beating our ass. All right, we might be gassing out a little bit. Algorithm's putting it on us. Drop a W, drop a Charles ain't winning, whatever. Hit the like button. Takes 2 seconds. It's free. Help your boys out. We appreciate it. Everybody new here, thank you. Road to 1K. We're almost there. We're almost there. And then we're into summer, headed towards a 2-year anniversary. See how it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, another weekend, another set of fights. As always, it was a pleasure. Bingo, bango, baby. Hey.